Hey guys, so this is my review for the Guild 2. This game is basically a shop management building sort of game. So basically you're just making products in your store and then you take them to the market, you sell them, you buy more resources for your store, bring it back to the store, make more products, and basically you just continue like that while also trying to level up your character and create a family or dynasty as they call it in the game. And then you get a bigger dynasty and you try and wipe out your competitors' stores by either like murdering them or making them go bankrupt, but then you eventually have to murder them anyway. But yeah, so you got heaps of buildings in this game. You can be one of 4 classes, so you can be a patron, a blacksmith, a robber, or some other random one which I can't think of right now. It's probably something something really stupid. Basically a patron is like food, so having farms and bakeries and stuff like that. A blacksmith person basically makes weapons or iron products, iron goods. And the robber robs people's carts and gets gold and money off of them that way. I still can't remember what the other one is. I know that I think there were 4 classes, maybe there was only 3, who knows. But basically, if you're going to choose a class, I suggest you just do the blacksmith class, because pretty much the game seems more centered around the blacksmith class. Like, you have I think they're called guilds, which are basically like groups of people who give missions, and then you can do missions and you get heaps and heaps of gold for doing it. Whether they want you to make like church bowels or a certain kind of sword with certain properties or something like that. But basically, these missions just ask you to do that, and then they give you a bonus if you bring those goods to them. And they do like this weird thing in this game where pretty much all the missions are for the blacksmithing class. I played as the patron. I've had a couple games on this one where I tried out the different classes, but I really liked the patron class, even though it's probably one of the harder ones to play, since the tutorial only covers the blacksmithing class. They don't cover the farming one. I couldn't even work out how to get a farm to work. That was pretty terrible. I mean, I probably should have just looked online at like some help things. But generally when you play a game, you expect it, especially when it's like one of these building games, you kind of expect it to be quite straightforward with what you have to do, especially after they have a tutorial on how to do it. Like, after doing the tutorial, I pretty much knew exactly how to play the blacksmithing class, which was the first time that I played the game was as the blacksmithing class, which was quite easy. And I managed to do some of the guild missions, I managed to get lots of money. I level up fast, get my first seat in politics, I got elected a couple times, I had a family, I was going really well. And then you play this patron class, and pretty much you get one building, and then I built some farms, and couldn't work out how to do the farms, and I was just sitting there as one building, just slowly building up. All these missions coming past for the blacksmithing, not a single one ever showed up for the patron class. I was kind of disappointed. And then like the more and more taxes went up, I was basically not even making that much money to really progress that far in the game. So I don't know, maybe you have to think of the different classes you can play as difficulty levels or something like that. Because it definitely did seem not very balanced to me. I don't know, maybe I just haven't played the game enough. Because I know that some people who like have played this game, they've played it for hours and hours, like we're talking like 80 or 90 hours, and then they're like, oh yeah, this game is really easy. But when you're just starting out in this game, it's like so annoying. Apart from that, you also have an inventory system, so you have a certain amount of goods you can keep in your store or on your person or in your carts. You have to marry to have children, and then you have to pay to send your children to school and all that boring stuff that you have to do. And you can do politics, and then you get a salary for having a certain position in the town. You also can get a new, I think it's like a new title, because you start out as like civilian or something like that. and then you go up to citizen or whatever until you're eventually high enough. And then to get a new title, all you have to do is pay some money to the judge, and then you get experience for that, and then you can level up your character. Probably one of the bad things about this game is that the leveling up system is really stupid, because you get experience for your character for doing like random things in the game. And then instead of, when you get a certain amount of experience, leveling up your character, they don't do that. What they do is that once you've applied the experience points to your character, then you level up. So when I started out in this game, I had played for like maybe 2 hours before I was like, what? Why can't I level up? Because you have to level up, you get a bonus of like more buildings that you can have, because until you're like level 3 or something, you can only own 1 building. And then after level 3 you can get another building. So I'd been playing for 2 hours, getting like heaps and heaps of experience, and I was just sitting there waiting for like this little notification to show up to say that you've leveled up. But it never happened. And then I looked in my character slot, and I had like a couple thousand of experience points, but my character was still level 1. So then after I applied them, my character like jumped up like 8 levels. And then I could finally get like heaps of buildings and heaps of abilities and all this other stuff for my character. So that was kind of annoying. Although I don't really like the abilities or anything in this game. They didn't seem that good. Another thing is that the cutscenes in this game are really stupid. Like, you have conversations with other people, and they basically just say the exact same thing all the time, and they're really slow about it. You can speed up the game. Usually you want to play on very fast, because this game is extremely slow. But yeah, if you play on very fast, they usually skip most of the cutscenes. If you play on normal, they'll do normal cutscenes, and the people will talk to you. But the cutscenes, they're basically, you say something or do something to someone, and then the person you're talking will be like, "Oh, thank you," and that's it. there's no actual conversation in this game. Another problem is that a lot of the people you talk to, they'll be talking in English, and then all of a sudden they'll start talking like German or some random language, and you have to start reading all the subtitles just to know what's actually happening. More problems in this game. All the cutscenes are out of sync with the sound. Like, literally all of them. I did not find a single one where I had to speed up time or slow it down. I could not get a single one of the cutscenes to actually line up. It was basically like, if you've ever seen like a really bad dubbed anime, where it's meant to be like the people talking in Japanese, but someone's now obviously speaking their lines in English, but the lips of the character are not moving. That is basically what every cutscene in this game is. It's just some preset person mumbling something, and then someone's just gone and put some lame-ass narration over top of it. So I'm guessing that the language for this game is probably actually meant to be German and not English, and that someone's just moved it over to English. I'm not quite sure where exactly this game from, or if the language is German, but it kind of sounded German to me, so I guess that's what I'll go with. Obviously, if you are going to do that, because the animations in this game are not that advanced, it would probably not take someone too long, maybe a couple of weeks or so, to fix that so that it would actually be playable for like the majority of the people they're selling this game to. But no, they don't do that. They just have people put up with it. Yeah, this game is extremely slow. The graphics are not the best. Gameplay is... I reckon the gameplay could have been a lot better. This game, I've definitely not really played anything like this, where it's mainly centered around an economy for a town, and then mostly just focused on business. Like, you can play other games like Sims and SimCity and building games like that, where they're sort of simulating, but they mostly simulate being able to keep your city running, whereas this one is mostly just based on keeping your family alive, earning money, and then wiping out other people. Although there are heaps of different gameplay styles in this game, so you have heaps of choice. I think there's also multiplayer, but it's probably dead. I didn't bother to check, because honestly, if there is anyone actually wanting to play multiplayer on this, I would be surprised, because I just hated this game. It was pretty terrible, very boring. I got bored so easily. Another problem in this game is that it's extremely hard to find people. You have, like, people in your dynasty are all listed on the right in, like, this taskbar area, and then you can click on them. But if you want to find someone new, like, I started courting this woman to be my wife, and basically, I had one conversation with her, and he had to wait like 12 hours before this notification came up to say that she was getting annoyed at you for not talking to her. And then you could double click her icon then, and then you could actually find her, because basically all the suitable women that you could date or court, as they call it, you would basically, they all look the same, so you'd have to hover over every single one that looked like her until you found one that said her name and had the little bar thing, which is like the love heart bar, because the courting in this game is extremely stupid. Basically, it's on how much they like you, and to get them to like you, you just give them stuff, or hug them, and then they're like, oh, thank you, I've always wanted that, you're so nice. And then after they say that, they give you like a whole lot of points. I think the only thing that I got negative on was when I tried to kiss someone, and I bit her lip. And then she was like, oh, you're such a brute, and then took me down like -5. But then you get +20 if they like it. So it's not really a big deal if you do something bad. But you have to wait quite a while after you've done something. I think gifts is the only thing which you can immediately do after you've given them something. So if you want someone to like you really fast, just give them heaps and heaps of random crap, and then they'll basically like you. But yeah, so it's extremely hard to find someone if you're looking for a specific person. They should probably add something into this game which makes like they should have like a tab or something which is related, or people you've met or something, or people you talk to, and just have an enormous list of people so that you can quickly find people, because honestly it's kind of lame. Another problem in this game is that you can't court someone from another town, because they have all these different towns, and all the people just sort of like converge where you live, and they'll just wander around your town. So when I was trying to find someone to actually court, because it's quite hard, because you have to, all the other dynasties are courting people as well, and basically if you're a guy you can only court women, but then since all the other dynasties were all guys, they were also courting all the women, and they're all living in like the same town. So basically all these people are trying to find a suitable mate in this town, and at least like 3/4 of all the women in the town were from another town, and you can't court them. So it was kind of like slim pickings, having to wait almost all day, because when the women go inside a house or something, you can't see them anymore, so you can't find out if they're suitable people to court. So it took probably about 3 days in like game time before I actually worked out a suitable person to court, and then like 10 minutes later I'd lost where she was, so I couldn't even talk to her or improve our relation, because she'd gone inside some random building and I couldn't work out which one or anything. Yeah, so that's probably another negative thing for this game. I'm kind of finding it hard to come up with a positive thing for this game. But if I had to rate this, I'd give it a 3 out of 10, which is pretty harsh, I guess. But honestly, I kind of hated this game. It was incredibly boring, buggy. The gameplay could definitely use some work. It was just not working for me. It's just my opinion. If you don't agree with it, or you do agree with it, drop what you thought of the game in the comments below this video. Otherwise, I'm only going to give it a 3 out of 10. Okay guys, see ya.